hope the connection is good. Let's see, how do you do this? Hello? How do we do this? Hello, Facebook, and I'm on Instagram too, trying to do something. Can I type when I'm doing a live video? Like, what is this? Does anybody know? Anybody know? Tell me. I am live. I think I'm live. I have no clue how to put a comment. Oh, there we go. Hello, Facebook. When you come on live, say hey. I am just putting a tag for Instagram. So Instagram world, hello Graham. I love hanging out on you. Tell me, can you hear me and see me all right? I'm just trying to put on a tag, food for thought. All right, about the struggle bus. We're going to talk about the struggle. Joanne, can you hear me good? Is the struggle, oh my God, it's so hard to do this. Is the struggle real? Presently it is. Oh my God, I can't do this. Hello, hello, hello. Is this, okay, struggle real. Let's go. Is tonight's topic, loves, is the struggle real? And right now, trying to put a post on Instagram. If you saw the setup right now, my hubby hooked me up real good. So I got two phones side by side in my lights. Is the struggle real? Thanks, girl. You're awesome. All right, let's get going. Okay, I think I pinned it. Is the struggle real? Let's see now. Okay, so first of all, it is Monday. Are you feeling Monday? It was cold. Wherever you're listening from on the gram, because I have people following me from all over there. I think I got people on Facebook too that follow me from other places. Was it cold where you're at? Because it is cold. Supposedly it's supposed to warm up, so I'm really missing the beach right now. Really missing San Diego right now. Anyways, cold but no bugs. True story. True story. No spruce bugs. Even better. It is cold, right? It's probably super cold where you're at too, I get. Oh my goodness. So tonight, I wanted to jump on and say, hey, we're doing food for thought. I'm a little bit late, but the whole setup for this thingy-majiggy was intense. But I'm so excited to be doing the gram and Facebook at the same time. Because awesome. For those of you who have checked out my podcast, Project Glow Radio, let me know if you've heard any episodes, what episodes are your favorite. I'm going to be dropping another 3 this week. I got a whole bunch in queue. I've done a lot of interviews. Those are coming. I got other cool things planned for the next few weeks. So yeah, let me know. Have you heard any of these podcast episodes? So tonight's topic for the food for thought. First of all, I'm Crystal from feedthatglow.co. In case you don't know, sometimes I got new faces in here, and I just like to extend a warm welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. We cool. I wanted to also say, share this out with your friends. If I share anything or spark something within you that you're like, I gotta share this with that chick. I gotta share this with my sister. I gotta share this with my BFF. Also, check these nails. Woo! It is cold, so I got ice cold nails. Pretty sweet, eh? My girl Vicky did that. She's awesome. Okay, so tonight's topic is the struggle real? Okay, I need to tell you right now, how often do we use this phrase? The struggle is real, y'all. The struggle is real. I use it all the time, but tonight I want to talk to you on a different way. You guys can hear me good on Facebook? I know the gram is good. Facebook, you can hear me good. Give me some thumbs up. Before we start this little train, get in it, tell me yes. Did it freeze? Anybody? Okay, we're good? Yay, thank you. Okay, I don't know if it's lagging, but awesome. So we're going to talk about the struggle being real, or is it? The thing is, too often, and I know I'm guilty of this all the time, I'm gonna share something a little bit personal that happened this weekend. Also, I did a social media detox. It felt so good. Tell me, have you ever tried that? Have you ever legit put your phone away, not checked anything? I wasn't checking email. I wasn't checking any of the groups I run. I wasn't doing anything. We did the Live Big Challenge. I poured myself into that challenge. If you did that challenge, tell me, did you feel the heat? Did you feel it? Did you feel it? I just gave it all, and then I was like, I need to take some time for me, and it felt so good. I didn't pick up my phone until today, so it's pretty good. When I was emailing up those ladies that I'm gonna get onto Breaking the Binge, super excited for that. But have you ever tried a social media detox, or just put your phone away detox? You can tell me what's the longest you've done. Has it been 12 hours, 24 hours, a few hours, a whole weekend? I'm telling you, it feels so good. I actually got to just rest, take some naps. I did a lot of reading, planned out my course. Excited. Yeah? Who's done this? Try it. It is so good. I'm telling you, it is so good. At the beginning, I've been doing this. I try to do this every few months. It does so much good for the soul. I'm telling you right now. I have no idea who this is. I'm getting texts as I'm doing a video. Now, it does so much good for the soul, and I'm going to tell you right now, just try it. If you were to try even for a day, it feels really good. And the longer you can go, it's just you're getting more connected. You get back to what matters to you. And I love this community. I really, really do. But it's nice to just, self-care. I'm all about that. Ooh, yes, try it, girl. Do it. Do it. It feels good. And start small. It feels really good. Start small. So we're going to talk about the struggle bus. So is the struggle real? I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't have to be. So the struggle doesn't have to be real. What? Okay. What? You should have seen me like 10 minutes ago trying to set this up. I'm like, and then I'm like, you're gonna get on live to talk about the struggle not really being real, right? Our perception, we always have power in our perception, and we could choose different, but in this moment, nothing is working. And then it worked. So I want to talk about it right now, because too often we allow our emotional states to just drive us, and that is pretty much what drives all our behaviors, right? Is our emotional state. So I want to help you get off the struggle bus and take back your power, okay? And I'm going to give you 3 tips that I find help with me, okay? So 3 tips, real easy. Ever notice that when you're on the struggle bus, you like to talk about it? Okay, you're stuck in it, you're stuck in your head, the meaning in your head is getting bigger and bigger, you're telling all the people or your close friends, right? You just repeat it, and there's a difference between processing it and just keep reliving it, okay? So sometimes we need to process it a little bit more to actually, digest it and figure out what it is that we need to learn from this, and sometimes it's not even worth the 5 seconds of air we're putting into it, okay? Sometimes we put too much value into it, and it's actually, in 5 years from now, it's not gonna matter, okay? I know that because sometimes I can be a drama queen, right? When I'm like feeling the pressure and the stress, and those things are not gonna matter in 5 years. So why should I waste 5 seconds? Why should I waste 5 minutes on it, right? So I've been practicing these methods for a while, but I just want to give you the permission too to when things are happening, okay? First of all, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. This is a Tony Robbins thing. I'm like, one day I'm gonna go see that man live, okay? I want to go to Date with Destiny. It's happening. I'm putting it out in the universe. But life doesn't happen to you. So all the sucky things that are happening right now, it's for your growth. It's to actually challenge you to step up your game to the next level. Yeah, it sucks, but nobody ever grew being comfortable, right? Nobody. So when things start happening, okay, it is so easy to put the meaning behind it and the stories we say in our heads, and we'll just put it on replay, and you know what I mean? I was like that. Hey, Nat's joining us too from on the gram. Nice to see you, girl. So Oh, I'm getting texts. Sorry, this is not good. So what happens is we get stuck in that, and it's like a spiral, okay? Ever see like a cyclone? You just can't stop it, okay? And what'll happen is we just keep going and going and going and going. The first thing I'm going to say that you need to do immediately in that instance is to stop talking. Just stop. Just stop talking. Stop talking. Just put it on the numb. If it's not bringing you anything positive, and I'm not saying that you're not allowed to try to process it, talk it out with some girls, talk it out with, figure it out. But if you just keep repeating and repeating and repeating, and I'm telling you, this weekend I went through something, it was a little bit of inner child work, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, and it hit me real hard, and I was like, oh my God, get out of my head, okay? So this happens to all of us. Why? Because we're human beings. We're living the feels. These things have to happen. So the first thing to do is to stop talking, okay? Stop it. Then you're going to, on the flip side, fix your focus. See, what happens is our brains can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. So it doesn't know the difference. So it doesn't know if you're watching a horror show, which by the way I stopped doing because I realized my physiological self cannot handle, okay? Everybody's talking about Bird Box. I can't even listen to like the trailer. It freaks me out. I am PG. And I actually think the more that our society is going with videos and things like this, that I'm gonna probably lower that to I'm just rated G, okay? I can't do it. And that's okay, right? I understand for myself, I can't do it. But you gotta fix your focus. So your brain can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. It has no idea, okay? And the perfect way to know it is if you watch a show, right? And it's a little bit thriller, intense, your palms are gonna get sweaty. Your heart's gonna keep going. So when that happens, that's when you know your brain is like, oh my God, what is happening, right? But it's not happening in real life, okay? So you need to fix your focus. By doing that, you fix your focus. You snap out. Like legit snap your fingers. I did that to myself this weekend many times. Like, snap out, girl. Come on. You know better. Snap out of it. Why? Because you're just going to continue down that spiral. And that's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve your highest self. It's not going to serve anybody around you. So, you fix your focus. Example of this is those women who are using the scale, let's say, to justify and to validate their self-worth. Girl, if you keep looking for the number that you're looking for, you might not ever find it, right? Because you keep focusing on that instead of focusing on the bigger picture. How are you nourishing your body? How are you taking care of your body? How are you managing your stress? How are you managing your sleep? All those bigger picture, right? Those bigger things that actually do a difference, right? Because come on, body weight number, come on, right? I get it. You're not actually after that number, girls. Telling you right now, you're not after the number, you're after the feeling, what you think you're gonna feel. And you can choose to feel that in an instant, okay? So you gotta fix your focus. Another example, people who say they're broke all the time. You keep saying you're broke, girl, you're broke, right? I started telling people that are close to me they're not allowed to use that language. It is not an empowered language. Why? Because money is just energy. It is where you choose to put your focus, what your priorities are. If you needed to drop money for your child, your spouse, whatever, something came up, you would figure it out. So instead of saying you're broke, it's you choose not to invest in that thing, and that's okay. What sounds more empowering? Right? You have to, if your mind can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy, why don't we choose the things that empower us and make us feel like we're owning it, like we're killing it at life, right? There's a difference here. So stop saying things like that. Fix your focus. It's not that you're broke, it's that you're choosing not to invest, and that is okay, right? Another thing I'm going to say about being broke, women, you can't, if you always hold your hands shut. Actually, I saw this exercise, it's really cool. Take your hands right now, squeeze them really, really hard. This is hard because my nails are long. You're going to squeeze really, really hard. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep squeezing. Do your hands hurt? Do your hands hurt? This is scarcity. This is what happens when you are constantly afraid to open your bills, when you're constantly afraid to tip, when you're constantly afraid to invest in yourself or to treat yourself or to do anything, right? And I'm not saying be irresponsible and go on a $3,000 shopping spree if you can't afford it. Nah. But if you keep squeeze, what happens? What happens? Money can't come in and money can't go out. Money is energy, girlfriend. The minute you tell the universe, I am worthy, I'm gonna tip. Why? Because I'm worthy, right? I don't care if the service was sucky, you still tip. Why? Because you're worthy. Then you create the universe sees like, oh, she's showing up. Because this way you can't get anything to go in, girlfriends. So you got to keep your hands open, because then money can come and money can go, right? You cannot get rid of all your money. Guaranteed, if you were to empty out like all your pockets, your accounts, whatever, you would find money. Money is energy and it's going to flow to you. You'll find a dime on the ground, right? It's all how we fix our focus and practice with gratitude. How to interrupt the anxiety is gratitude. The minute you start feeling like, oh, and I was like that with my expenses and my budget. I was like that. I was living in scarcity so hard that now it's like, no, look at all the blessings I already have, right? And when I get a bill, it's like, yay, I'm so grateful for the money I have to pay for this. Right? And sometimes it's pretty tight, but I still tell the universe, it is good, girl. I trust you. You got my back, right? And I always tip, my hands open, right? So stop saying things like you're broke, because you're not. You're not broke. It's about priority. It's about energy. Money, like time, doesn't really exist. It's all how we organize and prioritize what it is we want most for us, right? So I want you to stop seeking for validation in certain things that don't empower you. So if you're using the scale to validate your self-worth, you're gonna take a sledgehammer and you're gonna beat the crap out of that. If you're using, things like you're focusing on money and you're trying to save, but you're not actually in giving, you're not spending, then girl, you're living in scarcity, and you can't live in scarcity. Like abundance, I want you to focus on the abundance. So it's all how you try to fix your focus. Okay, so little tips to practice is stop using words like I'm broke, right? When you go out, always tip. I don't care if the service was crappy, you are worthy to tip. Perhaps that tip is what is gonna influence the other person. You don't know, right? We don't know other people's struggles and and what they're living. Maybe that tip is gonna help influence them to be like, oh, snap them out of it, because maybe they're living a story in their head that's not empowering them. The next thing, so to get off the struggle bus, because the struggle, honestly, is not as real as we think, okay? To get off the struggle bus, first thing to do, stop talking. Stop. If it's not empowering you, and if it's not helping you get out of the cycle, the spiral, right? I call it the shame spiral. We're just like, if it's not helping you, stop. Second thing you're gonna do is fix your focus. Next, we have to take radical responsibility. I'm all about that. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So what are you doing to help get in control of things, right? And actually, I shouldn't use the word control because I don't believe in control. What are you doing to show up? How are you choosing to show up? We always choose, right? This there hit me really big this weekend. We don't get pissed off, we do pissed off, okay? And this weekend, something happened with one of my kids, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you wanna know what mom guilt is? And if you're not a mom, I love you, girl. We all have women guilt, okay? You wanna know what mom guilt is? I swear to God, this is what mom guilt is. Mom guilt is inner child work that has not been healed, okay? We all have trauma. We all carry it in our bodies in some way, shape, or form, and it doesn't have to be these big horrendous things that happen to you. It could be, but it could also be the littlest thing that just affected you and you stored it in your body somewhere, and something's gonna happen to bring it back up. Why? Because you never processed it. Emotions are meant to flow through us. And this weekend, it just so happened I was doing a social media break, and I'm really grateful that I still followed through, because I was able to actually listen to what was happening. And this is what was happening. My inner child felt attacked and she came right out, okay? I was a little bit cuckoo, and I mean, it was hard, and I didn't realize this. So I honestly think that mom guilt, women guilt in general, when it comes to us ladies, has to do with something with our inner child that we've never healed, or we thought we healed from. And also, healing, ladies, is not linear. Sometimes you think that you're good, and then That's normal. It's called life, right? Something's gonna come back up and be like, did you really deal with this? Are you sure? I'm not sure you dealt with this. And guaranteed I had not dealt with this. So I understood that my little girl got hit. So what did I have to do to keep falling into the spiral? Because I had to take radical responsibility for how I had been showing up in my life, right? Sometimes we're not showing up as our best selves, and that is okay. Nobody's perfect, right? And every opportunity, like every little challenge is an opportunity on how you're gonna show up different and how you can grow. So I wasn't showing up to the best of my abilities, and there are certain things that I was letting slide. And when I realized that, I had to take ownership. And my little girl, she was not having it, okay? She was pissed. And we don't get pissed off. We do pissed off, right? We don't get these things. If you get a hit, if something triggers you, that's where you got to do the work. Okay? That means that there's a story in your head that you really got to dissect. You gotta like take it apart and ask yourself, is this still true for me? And all stories have served us to a certain extent, but as we evolve and grow, it's okay to rewrite a different story. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. You're not gonna be the same person maybe in 2 weeks. I don't know. You always have the opportunity to grow, and it's amazing once you see these things. So I had to take radical responsibility for how I was choosing to show up in my life. And I wasn't proud. I was definitely not my highest self. I'm laughing about it now, but really. And I had to have these discussions, these really messy conversations, and I'm all about the messy, because in the messy conversations, that's where you can actually get real with yourself, right? And I'm all about calling BS, and I'm so grateful for Mark for holding me up to that standard and being like, girl, you got higher standards for yourself. You know that. Calling me on my BS because I was totally stuck in it and I didn't even see. So on the struggle bus, you got to take responsibility for where you are in your life, because that's what you chose to do. Okay? And it's not taking responsibility with that shame and guilt and I should have and I could have and all that other jazz. Nah. Empower yourself. What are you going to choose to do right now? How are you going to choose to do? What do you want to do, right? And you could choose. You could choose again. It's to notice these feelings we have. We're really hard on ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves. We're our worst critics. And Gabby Bernstein talks about that all the time. Notice the judgment without judgment. So you're going to judge yourself and then you're going to say, wait a minute, is that my absolute truth? No, it's not. That's my shadow work. And instead, I'm going to speak my truth. So my shadow is talking. It's not serving me. This is my absolute truth. And then you change it from an empowered perspective. My gosh, so like freeing. So I'm not sure if you're feeling this. Am I hitting you, ladies? Are you feeling like, yeah, that's me? I felt like that, right? It's all about being brave. See, I'm wearing my brave shirt, brave AF. Because the minute we are brave to actually show up who we are and we own our stories, man, if you can walk into your story and completely own it, right? What happened to you in your past or whatever you're living right now does not identify, is not your identity, right? It is not your identity. And another thing, if I'm gonna just finish on radical responsibility, if you were gonna blame people for where you are in your life, so if you're gonna blame your parents, if you're gonna blame society, if you're gonna blame the government, like blah, 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 fill in the blank, you better blame responsibly, meaning, and accurately, meaning, what are the amazing things you learned from the sucky childhood you had, right? Because you got strengths from there. Childhood is not a life sentence. It is not. And some of us have rough childhoods. That is not your life sentence. That is not your identity. So you cannot continue on forward, continually looking in the back, blaming, right? That serves nobody. So if you're gonna blame, you're gonna do it from a mature advantage, and you're actually gonna look at the bigger picture, like who are you right now because of, right? Who are you right now because of? And then list it all out, and guaranteed there is something great that you learned, that you became because of fill in the blanks. You were not your past. It's obviously shaped you in some way, shape, or form. And with this whole growth journey we're doing together, we get there when we get there. But you're also allowed to like deconstruct certain narratives that are no longer serving you. So radical responsibility, but if you're going to play the blame game, you better play it to the end. So what did they positively influence you with, right? Who are you right now because of that crap? And don't forget, flowers grow in dirt. Okay, I love that. Flowers grow in dirt. So you a flower, girl. Like you keep blossoming and blooming and get all fancy and pretty because you grew in dirt, and that's okay. You're here. You're amazing. Don't forget that. Step number 3 to actually get off of the struggle bus is you are going to, this one's going to be hard. You have to surrender control. You cannot have control and trust in the same breath, okay? And control, I feel, is a lot where my inner child comes out. She tries to control, and I feel control is perfection. And ladies, if you've been with me any long period of time, write this in the box. There is nothing inspired by perfection. Nothing. You have no control over anything else but how you choose to show up. That is it. Your only power you have is how you choose to show up. That's the only control you have, right? You have no control over how your body's gonna drop weight, no control over how money's gonna come to you, no control over this other person, if they like you or not, none of it, okay? You have control of who you be, not what you do. Who you be. Who you be is all that matters. Who you be. So, if you can practice surrendering control and come from excellence. See, this is how I define perfection and excellence, because perfection, that was a hard beast, and that beast comes out from time to time, and the best way to slay the beast is when they're little, right? But as we grow and we unpack certain things, are like, damn it, I thought I got rid of you. So this weekend, my inner girl, my inner child, a little bit of the perfection thing, this is what we were dealing with. Perfection, I feel, is when you do stuff because you figure that that is where your worth lies, because everybody else can validate you. Excellence comes from you. It is heart-centered. It is not ego-centered, right? We all have an ego, and no, you can't kill your ego. It is there, but it's your shadow, and if you keep it busy doing things that it likes to do, you can lead from your heart. And excellence to me is heart-centered. It is you hold yourself to the highest standards possible because you know you're worth it, but you practice grace and compassion because you also know you're human. Excellence means you hold yourself to those higher standards, but you don't hold expectations on other people. Why? Because that's trying to be perfect and trying to control everything. And you got no control, girl. None. Right? Imagine how much energy and emotional and mental bandwidth you gain from just letting it go. It's not yours to hold on. I don't know how many struggles within the last few years that when you start to do this work, it is going to get more and more challenging. And it's not self-righteous, by the way, not at all. Humble, right? We all get there when we get there. And we're all dealing with certain lessons that we chose to come here to learn. So we all get there when we get there. Nobody's better than anybody else. There's no self-righteousness at all. But understanding that when you do this work, it's going to be hard AF, okay? It's going to be hard. But you brave, girl. You can show up and you can change your life. And by you taking the power and the permission to do that, you give permission to other women to say, I didn't know we can do that. I didn't know we can challenge that. I didn't know that I could say that I was worth more than I've been tolerating, right? I didn't know that I could set these boundaries. It's huge. The impact is huge. The minute we focus on our growth and on our light and we start to actually glow, it impacts our sister gals, our sister friends. And when they show up, man, we light it on fire, right? It's a feed-forward cycle. It's beautiful. So is the struggle bus real? Actually, it's not. It's in our minds. And sometimes it's okay to want to struggle a little bit. I'm going to tell you, this weekend, that's what I did. I sat on my struggle bus by myself, having a little hissy fit because my inner girl was struggling. But then I fessed up. And I got real with myself, and it wasn't fun, but I'm brave, and I showed up, and then I had those messy conversations, and now I'm going to choose to show up better because I've raised my standards. And that's what I want for you ladies. Raise your standards, right? Raise your standards, but lower your expectations, because you have no control over any of it. You only have control over how you choose to show up. So I really hope that this was empowering and impactful. And if I said anything that sparked anything, share with your girls. You know, I don't know what you can do on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it's just a live for 24 hours, but that's cool. I'm here every Monday night, usually 7 p.m. The struggle bus was a little bit complicated to get set up, but now we're good. The device is done. And yeah, just share with me, like, if anything impacted you. If you want to ask to join the private Facebook group, it's called Radiant Rebels, #Team Glow. We can continue these conversations, because I feel like some of us are a little bit afraid to share our true selves with the big world, and that's okay. I choose to live a little bit more publicly, but I understand that not everybody does, and that's why that group is small, and it's just to continue those conversations, because we all have them in our minds, and I want you to know that it's normal. But if we talk more about it, we normalize it, and I don't want you to feel alone. 2019 is all about living big, okay? So if you did that Live Big challenge, oh my gosh, tell me how it was for you. You can still grab it. It is a free 5-day challenge on Instagram. Just go to my link, sign up. You're going to start getting the emails automatically. And the ladies who have done it already on Facebook, I mean, I really hope, I poured my heart and soul into that. I want you to live big. Why? Because we are more than this shell. And I want the focus to be more on this, on our minds and on our hearts. I want us to be more heart-centered and to actually show up fully in our being, right? Because we're worthy already as is. There's no prerequisite. And knowing that the struggles happen, but we don't have to play that game. We can choose to get off the struggle bus, okay? And if you choose to sit in it a little longer, like I did, I got hit Friday night and I sat on that bus until Saturday afternoon, because I was like, no. My inner child was not having it. She had a fit and she was parked right there, and that's okay. So I'm going to write about that, because I honestly believe that inner child triggers, like the triggers we get, the mom guilt, the lady guilt, I honestly believe our inner child triggers, like they're the struggles that we never dealt with. And when they come back to the surface, man, it sucks. But we don't grow if it doesn't suck. So flowers grow in dirt. So you ladies keep growing and blooming and being who you be, because that's all that matters. It's not about what you do, it's about who you be. And I want you to be the best versions of yourself, because you already are. You're just probably stuck in your head, or you forgot. And I'm hoping that these food for thoughts are going to help you remember who you be, because you're amazing. I only hang out with cool women. We queens in a queendom. Yeah, girl, awesome. So I'm loving all these hearts. Thank you for sharing. You're amazing. I'm gonna now get off and get my boy ready for bed. Again, Live Big Challenge. It's free, 5 days. Grab it. You can ask to join the private Radiant Rebel Facebook group and Project Glow Radio. So my podcast, I think I have 14 episodes out, but I'm dropping 3 this week, and I got some pretty sweet interviews coming. So if you've heard any episodes, let me know what your favorite one is. I also have a private Facebook group for that. It's called Project Glow Radio Podcast Facebook group. You can be in both. I mean, why not? I was gonna try to keep everything in one place, but I was like, but it's what it is. We all hang. It's good. It's good. Thank you so much for spending your Monday night with me. I appreciate it. These are awesome. So that is what I got. I think that my camera just stopped, so we're good. Have a good night, ladies. Have a good night. That's all I got for you. I have no idea what is happening with my camera, but peace, love.